If it's Sunday, you know it must be Sunday dinner with Chef Joe. Hey everybody, happy Valentine's Day. And I'm so excited about today because my wife and I and camera lady all look forward every year to this because we know exactly what we're going to have for Valentine's Day for dinner. And every year we have pasta. We change it up a little bit sometimes, but we always have pasta. And that's been going back to, I think, when we were dating, not even married yet. So you're talking, this is 30 plus years. So today, we're going to, you get to be witness to the dinner that we're having tonight. And we're going to be making spaghetti and meatballs today. And you're like, oh, spaghetti and meatballs. But yeah, but we're going to be doing the pasta portion of it because we've already done everything else. But I'm going to show you how to make spaghetti from scratch. So, are you guys ready? Let's do it. All right, so starting off, we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And now, normally, when you see somebody making pasta from scratch, you'll see it on the table itself, the flour in a mound. And once you understand it and you get it and you get the feel of it, that's the traditional way of doing it. But what I find is when I teach people how to make pasta, the egg runs out and all that. So I'm going to show you, this is a perfect way of doing it and keeping everything together. So this is an easy trick for you, okay? So we have our 2 cups of flour, and we're going to add to that, about a half a teaspoon of salt. Mix that all up, okay? Then we're going to make a well, and now you can see why I'm saying leave it all in here, because we're going to add our wet ingredients to the middle. Then we're going to add 3 large eggs to our pasta. 1, 2, 3. Let's grab our little shell that fell in there when that button went off. Let's start our... Alright, so you have our 3 eggs in here. Now, you could stop right here and start making it. The other thing, though, I like to do is I always like to add a little olive oil to mine. And we're using some of my good Ligurian olive oil that we love so much, that wife and I'm only putting in maybe a teaspoon. Okay? And then from there, we're going to just start. You want to slowly start incorporating the eggs and the flour together with a fork. Just like this. And like I said, putting it in a bowl like this or a dish like this is fantastic because it's really a great cheat for you, because now you can keep the egg inside of the well, which is what you're trying to do. So it's a perfect cheat. Should have been doing this for years. So that's what we're doing, is we're literally just bringing in our flour a little bit more and more, and just bringing it all together. And it's a little bit, you gotta have a little patience when you're making pasta from scratch. Now, if you do not want to make pasta on the table or in a dish like this, you can make it in a stand mixer. And all I did was took all the same ingredients that we just took, and I put on my dough hook, and I just turned it on and mixed the whole thing up, and then when it came together, put it back in for the kneading part of it, which we're going to get to in a minute here, and then we're going to put together. So I'm going to show you right now how to do it. All right. So this is where your hands get a little sticky. So you can put a little flour in there, and what you want to do now is you just want to bring it together, and we want to get it together. We don't want it to be too wet. We also don't want it to be too dry. So I've put in 2 cups of flour to 3 eggs. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to take the whole 2 cups. It really has to do with the weather. And I don't know about you guys. You know how I love to talk about weather on my show. So the weather outside is going to be frightful soon. So I think the humidity level is up, which means that may not take in. The flour actually sucks in water when it's humid out. So, all right. So we're just bringing it together, just like that. Okay. Okay. And I'm just going to move this over here for a second. All right. And then when you get it on the surface, you want to have some more flour around for you because it's going to get wet. But you really want to just knead it. And you're going to just knead this for about, I would say, at least 5 minutes. Okay? You really want to knead it well. The more you knead it, the better your pasta is going to be. So if you can knead it for, I got to tell you, if you're looking for some hand exercise, this is a great hand exercise for a while. And so as you can see, I'm just turning it and kneading it with the palm of my hand, just like that. And if it gets sticky like that, you just add a little more flour to it. And again, you don't want to overdo the flour. You want to keep it so it's still a moist dough, okay? So you're going to knead that, continue to knead that together for about 5 minutes or so. Could be more, could be less. What you're looking for, though, when it's done, is when you can put it together, and it's not done yet, I can tell you right now, but when you put it together in a ball, what you're really looking for is a nice, soft surface. Kind of, as they always say, it feels like a baby's bottom. Okay, so that's kind of what you're looking for. Now, you're going to wrap that up in foil, and you're going to hold that for 30 minutes. You're going to put it, not foil, sorry. Thank you, camera lady. We're going to wrap that up in plastic wrap for 30 minutes, and when it comes out, it looks like this. So, as you can see, it's really, resting it for 30 minutes at least really turns it into a really nice looking dough. All right. Then what we're going to do is, let me find my, from there we clip off sections of our dough, okay, depending on how big of a piece of pasta that you're trying to make. All right. Now, if you have a stand mixer, you can get the attachments like I have for this roller. If you don't have a stand mixer, they do actually sell a hand rolling model of it that you can buy and you attach to the side of your table. And if you don't want to do that, you can do it the way that the Italian ladies in Italy did it 200 years ago and roll it out with a big rolling pin. All right, so we got many ways of doing it. So now we have our pasta right here. And if you notice, I kind of smushed it together a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it through my roller. And it's on the, right now my roller is on the thickest, is on the widest setting, I should say, the widest setting. So I like to run that through twice, at least, until I feel like I've got it at that widest setting, which on this mixer, and by the way, every hand thing is different, so on mine it's 1, but and on the KitchenAids, I believe, it's 1, but it doesn't mean it's always 1 and 2 and 3 the way they do it on the other ones. All right, so we have our first roll through, and now we're going to send it, we're going to go to number 2. And again, how thin you want to make your pasta is how many you'll go through. Now, if you see these bubbles that are popping up like that, you don't want that. All right, so that's where you go back and you send it through again until you can get it, because you want this to be a nice smooth pasta. All right. One of the reasons, just so you know, that this pasta is doing this right now is this pasta has been sitting longer than 30 minutes. It's actually been sitting for a while. So it's getting, I'm going to start it back at 1 again, but That's good to see this on live TV because then you get to see what really happens when you're making pasta. So let's get this through one more time. We're starting it on 1. Now it's looking better. And it'll smooth itself out in a second. So that's 1. Now we're going to 2. And as you can see, each time I do that, it's pressing it a little more. And again, if you don't have one of these, you can do a hand. You can do a hand roll with a hand mix with a hand roller itself. And they actually make wooden rollers just for pasta. All right. So you're going to just keep doing this until you get it to the size, the thinness that you're looking for in your pasta. So we're going to go one more. We'll go one more after this because I don't want it super thin, but I also don't want it overly thick either. And I'll show you why in a second. We'll go one more. All right. One more. So I'm going to number 6 on my roller. All right. We're almost done, as you can see. Wow, it's going to be a nice piece of pasta, actually. So, all right. Now, once it comes out, we want to put it into some flour. And you want it to start to dry it as quick as you can because the drier it gets, but when you, I'm going to turn this off for a minute. The drier it gets, the better your pasta is going to cut when we go to cut it. All right? So as you can see, I'm just throwing, this is a combination of more regular white all-purpose flour and some semolina flour. All right? So now, once it's dry, you take your, and you can see it's dried up a little bit. It's a little bit on the dried side. We're going to change out our roller to our cutter. So this is our spaghetti cutter. It has to go on just right. There we go. And you want it to go on just right because if it doesn't, it's not going to work. Okay. This is the real cool part. So now we take it and we're going to just send it right through. Alright. And I did one right before the show, as you can see. So I got 2 of them. We'll do one more because it's always fun to watch pasta cutting. And if, again, if you don't have a roller and you can't cut it, hang on one second. We have some crust going on here. Alright, let's try this again. It's actually so dry right now that I'm having trouble getting it through because it's wet. Hang on 1 minute. I have a piece of All right, we got it. We just had a piece of pasta stuck in there. Go back. Try it again. There we go. All right. So we got our nest. So now we want to put our nest in some salted simmering water. And I suggest you put in some kind of strainer or screen of some kind, because this way you can literally pull your pasta right out of the pasta pot. Okay, so we'll throw those in there. We're going to let those really crank up now. And so the best part about fresh pasta is that fresh pasta cooks a lot faster than traditional. So if you think about this, that pasta would probably take about 6 minutes or so. This pasta is going to literally be done in about a minute or two. And our water's getting up to a boil again, so we're ready. It'll be cooking really super quick, and then we're going to cook it. So now, while we're getting ready for that, let me move our pasta for a minute. And hang on 1 minute. So here, turn this off. All right. In here, I have some nice sauce that we made before the show. And we made some sauce, and camera lady made some meatballs that I'm looking forward to trying. So I'm going to show you guys how to sauce your pasta. So once your pasta is cooked, you're going to pull it out, and really the key to this whole thing is you want pasta water. And you know, a lot of people are like, oh, you got to strain it, and you don't want to do that, okay? You literally, whatever water is in there, you want to use that, because that's going to help with mixing up your pasta. So we're going to just take that. As you can see, there's a little water. We're throwing our pasta right in. Now from there, we're going to add our sauce. And so we'll ladle in some sauce. And again, it depends on how much sauce you like. We're starting with that. And I'm getting there, Cam Lady. I'm getting there. Anyways, as you can see, I'm mixing it up. If you like a little more sauce, which I do, I'm going to throw a little more sauce in there. All right. Beautiful. A little more sauce. Okay. You getting it? Great. Now, let's plate it. So we're going to plate it. So we're going to take our spaghetti, and we're going to twirl it all up like this. And we're going to start plating our pasta, because we want to have a beautiful pasta dinner. Okay. Sometimes it rolls, sometimes it doesn't roll. All right, just like that. All right. Got to have at least one of famous camera lady's meatballs on top. All right. While I'm waiting on that, we're almost done, but you got to have wine when you have pasta, which means it must be time for what's Joe drinking? Guess what? Of course Joe's drinking wine. I've got this nice Chianti. It's a Tenuta di Ranieri that we bought yesterday, and this is a DOCG, which is what you're looking for when you're looking for Italian wines. DOCG is the most premier of the wines, which means it's from the most distinct region. So if this is a Chianti, this is the region that means that it should be grown in. And this is really their protective way of labeling things, so that you know it for sure that this is a true Chianti. And as far as they're concerned, it's true. All right, cheers. It's really nice. It is super nice wine. I'm really happy with it. All right, we got to finish this. Okay, we got our meatball. We got our pasta. Of course, we got to have a little fresh Parmesan that I bought today. Some nice fresh Parmesan. All right. I've got a little green basil that I did. Just like that. We've got this for our main course. We made a nice salad with some fresh tomatoes, fresh basil, buffalo mozzarella, and what else? Oh, we're gonna have some bread, right? So we got this beautiful Italian rosemary bread. And of course, if you're going to have bread, you got to have something to go with it. So I roasted some garlic before the show. So we've got some roasted garlic. We're going to spread some more of this delicious olive oil around it, which I love to use for bread. And Oh, we got to give it a little color because it is Valentine's Day, so we'll put just a drib of, if I can get it to come out, a nice little drizzle of, there we go, balsamic glaze. So we have that for our bread. And camera lady was so nice to even make a dessert, which is chocolate covered strawberries. So from camera lady and myself, cheers, happy Valentine's Day. Hopefully we're on camera still. Anyways, happy Valentine's Day. We'll see you next Sunday, because if it's next Sunday, you know it's Sunday dinner with Chef Joe. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter at Chef Joe Louie. See ya.